Hello and welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us again. We're going to be speaking with Suzanne Graney, Executive Director at Four Diamonds. Now, Four Diamonds is a pediatric cancer charity. She's joining us on the program to talk about the work that the organization is doing to conquer childhood cancer by assisting children and their families through superior care, comprehensive support, and innovative research. Welcome to Health Professional Radio, Suzanne Graney. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
As Executive Director at Four Diamonds, give our listeners a bit of your professional background and then talk about the mission of Four Diamonds. I did, of course, mention that you're a pediatric cancer charity.
Sure. My professional background centered around nonprofit communications, and I spent a very short time working in a congressional office doing communications, and then had a great opportunity to apply those same skills in fundraising and development in public broadcasting. Spent close to 7 years at a local public broadcaster before I moved on to Four Diamonds, and I've been with Four Diamonds for about 10 years. Mm-hmm. Four Diamonds is a really special organization committed to making sure that the kids who are fighting cancer at Penn State Children's Hospital are able to get all of the care that they need without having to worry about the cost of the care. We believe we are the only gift fund in the country that does this type of work to make sure that any type of care that a child who is fighting cancer needs to have is all of the costs are covered. So we're filling in all the gaps that insurance doesn't cover for those children who are at a hospital fighting cancer. And that's where our superior care comes in. We've been very fortunate to be able to grow a really robust pediatric hematology oncology department. Our comprehensive support fits right in there with superior care, making sure that we offer services that surround the child and the family as they're going through the fight. And again, these are mainly non-billable services. So Four Diamonds is taking care of those costs to make sure that every child has the therapeutic services they need and that their families are also receiving all of the emotional, spiritual support that they need as they're going through this fight too.
Talk about the community support that allows you to take care of these kids the way that you do.
Yes, we have a really special relationship with the Penn State Dance Marathon and the students who volunteer nearly 5 million hours a year to make THON happen. We have been their partners for 44 years, and they have exceeded expectations in what they have been able to raise, donating nearly $260 million to us over the course of our partnership. And they have also inspired other generations of students to join us in our fight. And because of the example of THON, we have a second program that runs in K-12 schools in Pennsylvania and in surrounding states, allowing children of all ages to put their leadership skills to work, build teamwork, learn about compassion, learn about community, and put together what are called Four Diamonds Mini-Thons within their school programs. They receive a framework with a lot of flexibility to make those programs their own. And they have raised nearly $30 million over the course of the last close to 30 years.
Now, just to be clear for our listeners, THON, THON, what exactly does that entail? What does it stand for? And who's involved specifically?
Sure. THON stands for the Penn State Dance Marathon. It is an organization that is student-run. It's the largest student-run philanthropy in the world. And every year, approximately 16,500 students join forces. They are committed to raising awareness about childhood cancer and committed to raising funds to help treat cancer and help fund research to end cancer for all kids.
Now, I do understand that Penn State's Children's Hospital was recognized as one of the top 50 hospitals here in this nation for childhood cancer care. Can you talk about that accolade, please?
Absolutely. We are very fortunate to have a really robust program that is able to provide standard of care and also able to offer hope to those who are not responding to standard care. by having clinical trials, by experimental therapeutics, making sure that children who are fighting have the very best chance to be able to be successful in their fight. So that superior care includes the medical care that they're receiving from a doctor, from the nurses, but it also includes therapeutic care that has been proven to increase the likelihood of their success in their cancer fight. So those include softer types of care like music therapy or child life specialists who help a child to adjust and understand what is happening within their treatment at an age-appropriate level. We have dedicated social work team members who work only with this patient population, helping to make sure that the family has a support system around them and identifying gaps and helping to fill those gaps for those families. We also have clinical nutrition, staff psychologists who are available specifically for this patient population, and art therapists and pastoral care. So making sure that we are meeting them where they are and surrounding them with the services that can help to make sure that they emotionally are able to adjust, they're mentally able to accept what is happening to them, and obviously their physical health is of utmost importance to us too.
The U.S. News and World Report has also recognized the Children's Hospital for a couple of other specialties as well.
That is correct. We have a very strong neonatal program. We have a strong orthopedics program. And we have several specialties that end up in the U.S. News and World Report list each year. As healthcare continues to evolve and change, we are committed to remaining a leader in how we provide care and the type of care that we're able to provide to children, and making sure that we are staying on that leading edge and ahead of the curve in what are the newest things that we can offer to a patient to give them the best chance of success with the least amount of side effects.
Is there anything that you'd like to add, Suzanne?
Part of the standings with U.S. News and World Report looks not only at the care that's provided, but the research that supports the Pediatric Hematology Oncology Program. One of the key things that THON and Mini-THON, as our partners in our fundraising efforts, have helped us to do is provide steady funding, which has enabled us to build a research program at Penn State Children's Hospital and at Penn State College of Medicine. And working collaboratively, we've been able to continue a search to figure out why childhood cancer happens, how we could treat it differently, what are the ways that we could minimize side effects, because there are significant side effects to the treatments that are provided for a child who is fighting cancer. And ultimately, what we know is we can provide the very best modern care, and we can provide financial assistance to a family. But if we don't find new ways to treat it, to stop it in its tracks, we won't truly fulfill our mission of conquering childhood cancer. To us, conquering childhood cancer means providing the very best care to somebody who's fighting right now today, but maximizing that care with transformative philanthropy to look at innovative new ways to treat it. That is what will ultimately lead us to a cure. We need and recognize that all three of those components are really what will lead us to conquering childhood cancer.
Suzanne, I appreciate you joining us here on Health Professional Radio. Can you give us a website where we can learn more about Four Diamonds, please?
Absolutely. We would love to have your listeners learn more at fourdiamonds.org. Great. And on there, you can find an impact report from the previous year and hear all about the success that we're having and why we see that this fight is important, that we want to help every child, whether they are right here in our local community or across the globe. We're looking for cures that will help everybody everywhere.
Well, thank you once again for joining us on the program. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Pleasure to speak with you too, Neil.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Suzanne Graney, Executive Director at Four Diamonds. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Listen in, download it, SoundCloud, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Health Professional Radio.